Hello, Silent Hill fans. It's time for another episode of The Great Debate, discussing what the hell is the fandom freaking out about now.
It's always something.
We can have a theme song that goes to the Silent Hill 1 theme. What's the fandom freaking about out now? That's a terrible intro. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Already.
Click away.
And they're gone.
I can read.
Okay, now it's just you and me, VB. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. We can talk about some nerd shit.
As always.
Basically, the fandom is freaking out because, again, people are conspiratorially thinking that Hideo Kojima, that scamp, he's up to it again. Whatever it is. He's up to it again. You know what I mean. Video games? Silent Hill stuff? Ooh. And yeah, it's just been a big mess of a rumor mill. A lot of people think there is a fella named Hassan Kahraman,
yeah.
who is secretly Hideo Kojima and is fucking with all of us, even though he has said he is not Hideo Kojima and is not fucking with us. Case closed. That's the video. Thanks for watching. So let's actually dissect why. Why are we here? What? How did this start?
So yeah, I don't know how you came into this, VB, but I was kind of dropped into it when I saw a video on YouTube that was basically talking about like, oh, here are all the weird coincidences with this new game that's been mysteriously dropped onto the Sony blog, and yeah, it was right after E3, and so it was just like I was already on the lookout for like, horror stuff, that kind of thing. So it was really fascinating to see that trailer, and then all of a sudden everyone just starts like going nuts over it and just being like, what is going on? There's so many hints and secrets. But apparently something happened with this trailer before E3.
Yeah, because this trailer there's a teaser trailer on April 7th for this game Abandoned that was going to be a PS5 exclusive. And rumors began immediately circling around that this was some sort of secret Hideo Kojima project because of the quality of the trailer, and I'm sure you have the same opinion as I do about that statement.
Yep. Quality? What quality? What are you talking about?
It looks nothing like Hideo Kojima stuff. Nothing. I don't understand what people are talking about. Shit.
Yeah, eventually it's revealed that the actual like woods that this trailer takes place in, that's all pre-bought. Those are all pre-bought assets. So, like,
of course, it's Unity asset flip game. Like, can you tell what a Unity asset flip game is? Are we so desperate for Hideo Kojima Silent Hills content that we're just going to imagine it in places? The answer is yes, we are.
But yeah, so apparently. Rumors began almost immediately that Abandoned was that Hideo Kojima project. And Hasan gave an interview to IGN on April 8th, 2021, that the rumors about him being Kojima weren't true, saying, quote, "It wasn't fun, but it did make me laugh. At first, I was receiving messages from people telling me that they have been watching me and that I, as Kojima, used some marketing tricks to promote his next game. I didn't know what they meant until I Googled it," end quote. So it seems like he didn't even know about like Kojima before this, but I don't know. You're going to get a little hint of this as this video goes on, that Hasan, I don't know what his deal is. At some points he's playing coy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
I can't tell.
Yeah. I can't
also,
tell
if you
either.
can't
it's
tell,
really...
we're operating on a delay. We have a 1 second delay going on. So it's huge. I don't know why it's happening. Fuck Comcast, I guess. But so forgive us if we seem like we're stammering over each other at points. It is not intentional. Yeah. We're not trying to talk over each other because we're such huge nerds.
Rude.
We have to fight each other.
Constantly at each other's
throats. I cannot tell. I can't tell what this guy's intentions are. I think the only conspiracy here is trying to figure out whether or not this guy is intentionally, fucking with people to get, attention on his game, or if it is a honest to goodness, I did not know, and everybody super overanalyzed everything. But we'll talk more.
We'll get there.
Come down on your opinion later on. But yeah, after that, after E3, the abandoned trailer, the teaser, made the rounds again. After the Twitter account for Blue Box Studios posted this tweet: guess the name, abandoned equals first letter S, last letter L. Reveal closing in, hashtag PS5, hashtag exclusive. Of course, everybody wanted that to mean Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. Oh, man, it couldn't possibly be.
You have a better theory about what it stands for, though.
Oh, yeah. So the funny thing about all the marketing materials about Abandoned is like every aspect of this game was being promoted as a survival game. And what word begins with S and ends with L? And I think at some point Hassan actually came out and said, yeah, we were kind of meaning it to be survival, but some people were guessing Sigil. That's a pretty cool name. I haven't heard of a game named Sigil. That's a rad idea. Hey, game devs.
That would be good.
Grab that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other funny thing that I'll mention really quick is that everyone really glommed onto this whole first letter S, last letter L, conspiracy theory. But the interesting thing is that if you really think that this is a Kojima project, Kojima was making Silent Hills, which begins with S and ends with S. So it's like, it's one of those cases of like, okay, you're kind of twisting the narrative to be what you want it to be. And don't worry, we'll see more of that in a bit. So June 15th, 2021, Reset Era user JoshCam19 started what will become a giant thread regarding Abandoned, Hassan Kahraman, and Blue Box Game Studios, largely predicated on the first letter S, last letter L tweet. Some of the evidence used for this conclusion was a VGC article claiming that a prominent Japanese developer is currently working on a Silent Hill game. So most people assumed it was Kojima Productions, but the person who wrote the VGC article, Andy Robinson, tweeted that the Japanese developer was not Koji Pro on the same day that article was put up. So kind of, a little bit of, I don't know if we're looking at the right evidence here, y'all.
Yeah. Oops.
Whoopsies.
This is a case of not reading it's funny because it's not in the article.
Yeah,
it's not Koji Pro. He tweeted that later. So it's just like, why didn't you put that in the article?
A lot of this would have been I don't even think a lot of this would have been a big deal if Andy had put that into the actual VGC article.
Yeah, I wonder. Where are we up to? June 15th, same day. Like, all these things are happening on the same day. The last two things in this thing. The Blue Box Game Studios Twitter also tweeted that same day, we want to get things straight. We have no relations to Konami. So Silent Hill is owned by Konami. We do not have any relations with Hideo Kojima. It was never our intention to tease the name as Silent Hill. We sincerely apologize for this. Too late, man. Too late. The Silent Hill fans have latched on, man. They got to believe this shit.
You can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle, man. You got to kind of roll with it at that point.
I believe the developer doth protest too much. I believe they are Hideo Kojima after all. They said they weren't.
I mean, can you prove that you're not Hideo Kojima? I mean, just think about that.
I can't prove that I'm not Hideo Kojima right now.
Exactly. So, and I can't prove it to you. So June 16th to 17th, 2021, a list of supposed hints are posted on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit by Aid This Fellow User and later expounded upon by the newly formed The Blue Box Conspiracy subreddit. Some of the bigger discoveries included Hassan Kahraman abbreviates to HK in the coffee.
I love that that's a discovery. Aha! Same letters! Goodness!
Watson! Look at this! As in Hideo Kojima, obviously. Oh, I read that wrong. Also, if you put Kahraman, this is interesting. Kahraman. Apologies if I'm saying the last name wrong. Hassan's last name wrong. I've heard Kahraman and Kahraman, and yeah. So Kahraman. If you put Kahraman into Google Translate as Turkish and then translate that into Japanese, you'll get Hideo, because Google Translate is 100% foolproof. Never been wrong before.
If Google Translate actually worked, it would ruin entire industries. Tons of millions of people would be out of jobs if Google Translate was not garbage. So fucking grain of salt on that one from me.
Yeah, same. No, we've been through this. We've been through the Google Translate ringer when PT came out, because there were a whole bunch of people speculations and rumors about, like, yeah, you remember that? That was part of our
Ofuroba mio.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have a little bit of history with Google Translate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very fun to read that thread. Yeah, exactly. It's very fun to read that thread on Reset Era about like all this stuff, and people who actually know Japanese and kanji will come in there and be like, "Shut up! Like you guys don't know anything."
What are you talking about? No.
So this came as a surprise not only to people in the thread and people all over online, but it also came as a surprise to Hassan that his name translated to Hideo, because when Mark Delaney told him, Hassan, quote, began laughing so hard that he actually threw up. So that's...
Poor Hassan.
I feel for this dude. Like, at a certain point...
And his puke spelled out PT.
Hideo Kojima was in the vomit. He just crawled out and was like...
Well, the camera goes down Hassan's throat, and the baby is in there.
100%.
Giving you a thumbs up. Yeah.
Oh, there. That's where I left that baby. It's also found that the trailer for Abandoned, there's a part where the wall... Okay, this is actually kind of interesting and kind of throws what we assumed about Hassan at the very beginning into kind of like a nebulous space. So in the trailer, there are words on a wall that say, "Kill the trespasser." But there's a tree that specifically blocks out two letters from that sentence, and it's P and T. So that seems intentional.
I still I have plenty of room in my mind for that to be a coincidence, personally.
Yeah, totally.
Because especially if, I mean, this all kind of hinges on Hassan's motivations, because we don't know them.
Right.
Because if he claims to not have any knowledge of all this Hideo Kojima stuff and all of the clue hunting that his fanboys get involved in with with Never Be Game Over, all that stuff, saying that the end of Metal Gear Solid 5 was fake. There's a real one coming out soon, I swear to God,
something sort of shit. September 11th, something else.
Stuff like that. So if he doesn't know about that stuff, then this is it's just a coincidence, and I'm fully capable of believing that. But if he has any knowledge of that stuff and is savvy, he could just be planting these things in his trailers to get attention on his game that he might not otherwise get without this kind of rumor mill, which I feel as fans, we need to be a little more savvy about this stuff, because people can, take advantage of, our extreme want for these things to be real. So, and also if Hassan ain't doing this shit on purpose, you're harassing this guy who is not doing this shit on purpose. Please stop.
Yeah, for real. That dude has gotten a lot of death threats and stuff, and yeah, bad Silent Hill fandom. But it's also interesting when you consider that, if you draw this out, it's not just Hassan, it's not just we want, all of us desperately want Silent Hills. We really are willing it into existence at this point, despite all the evidence to the contrary. But that should also tell you that, look, Konami can easily put their hooks in this and then drag it along and drag you along with them in order to take advantage of your want for this thing. Imagine a game comes out and they just call it Silent Hills, and it has no Hideo Kojima behind it. It has none of the talent that was previously there. And it's just like, they just use
What if it's
the
just
vessel.
a big fat reboot with guns and cars? You know, it could be, you know, anything. And, you know, your desperation will get them the engagement they want.
Yep.
It's free advertising.
Yeah, yeah. And like, you know, the part of that's on us. And you know, we should be, you know, we should understand that and go into all of these conspiracy theories from now on. Starting now.
Starting now.
Right
because,
now.
I mean, we've been guilty of this in the past. Like, you know, the Jareth stuff turned out to not be exactly true, but it did work. Yep. So that kind of like reconfirmed that, oh, you're on the right track because it worked. This all is really an incredible, you know, an incredible feat of the human ability to sense patterns is really awe-inspiring to me. And I find this stuff very fascinating that, you know, especially with so many different brains across the internet putting their wits together to find meaning in nothing. That's interesting shit. And the fact that that's being basically potentially used as advertising, that gives me feel bads. You know, it's like the potential of the internet, the potential of the human mind, and it's just to rile people up about a video game. What a shame. But, you know, I have been the more skeptical. Between the two of us, I feel like I've been a little bit more skeptical than you in certain cases. I'm
Definitely,
the one in the Google Docs being like, that's a bit of a stretch, Bob. I don't know about this, you know. But
yeah, I really
here we
needed
are
you
discussing more.
I really needed you on the video for the hidden meaning of PT. I stand behind that video. I think that one is one of my, you know, I think that's one of my favorite videos I've ever done, but really needed someone to tell me to cool it on the whole colored lights thing. Because every time I try to solve that, it's just like, I'm reaching again and I gotta. So I understand anyone who got into this conspiracy, trust me, I get it. I really do. I'm the dude who had like pages upon pages of like Mad Men scrawls for like how to solve the colored lights at the end of PT when it first came out. Like I'm
and I read it and I was like, "Hun, what are you doing? Like you're driving yourself crazy."
And I stopped. And you know, I've done that a few times before with like the Resident Evil 7 demo. And like I went crazy on that stuff. And it just after a while it's just like, look, you gotta sometimes if it's cool, if it's really a conspiracy and it's really there, you just let it happen. But like if it's not,
it'll be more surprising
looking for it. So yeah, and it'll be more surprising. You will be surprised and you will have a good time being surprised.
Yeah, like you don't have to figure this out right now. Like
right.
Maybe it'll be cool if you don't actually, and then when it's revealed to you, it's a fun surprise actually. And you don't win anything for guessing this correctly, you know?
Right.
And in all likelihood, it's just going to be wrong. It's just going to frustrate you and be an extreme emotional, you know,
hit.
You're putting a lot of your time and effort and emotion into something that is a ghost, you know, you know, you a wild goose chase, basically.
Speaking of wild goose chases, I just really quickly need to mention my favorite conspiracy of this entire thing, real quick. So,
go.
There's also this conspiracy. It's the number 27 conspiracy, and it goes like this. So, Silent Hills was officially canceled on April 27th, 2015. And so a bunch of people in the thread in the Reset Era thread and on the subreddit started pointing out whenever there was a number 27 that came up in relation to Hassan or anything, it was the funniest thing. It was like people like, oh, if you combine the numbers of the if you take P and T and then correlate them to numbers based on their alphanumeric order, it equals 27. And then like, oh, there was one amazing one. It was like if you take the letters of Hideo Kojima and Hassan Kahraman and then add them all up, it equals 27. And then Hassan had 27 friends on his friends list on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
27.
yeah.
It was everyone was like doing their best Jim Carrey impressions from the movie 23. It was, oh man, I loved it so much. Anyway.
Oh man! Again, the incredible capacity of the human mind to notice patterns when you're told to look out for them. It's awesome. It's so cool. I feel bad. I feel bad that it's happening here. And it keeps happening over and over again, too. That makes me sad that we don't have the pattern recognition to realize that Konami is just like a bad company and doesn't know what they're doing and is not going to make a good Silent Hill game. Why don't we have that pattern recognition? We're so hopeful. We don't want to recognize the pattern that's really in front of us, which is like the last 15, 20 almost years of Konami has been a steady decline of, not giving a shit about their intellectual property or anything like that and making wacky business decisions.
Yep.
Why can't we find that pattern? Anyway.
And not only, sorry, real quick, but not only just like the business decisions, but like, guys, do we remember why like Kojima left? Like it could have been a bunch of different things, but like remember the news reports that came out that said like Konami was straight up treating people like garbage. They were specifically treating people so badly that they would want to quit on their own out of despair. That says everything that you should know about Konami. Like, I don't care, like this whole like thing. It could be, whatever. But like, I don't personally want Kojima to work with Konami again, and I don't want unless Konami changes their ways, because what they were doing was just awful. And yeah, so anyway,
the thing is that gamers don't care how the sausage is made as long as they get their sausage.
True.
The despair and the labor violations and stuff like that is, small bananas compared to, is the game coming out? Is it going to be delayed or not? That's all that matters,
Yep, it's sad.
Oh, which sucks. Anyway, more things happened though, but wait, there's more.
But wait.
On June 17th, Jeff Keighley hosted a video Q&A session where he responded to a question about Blue Box Game Studios, confirming that Hasan has reached out to him to help promote Abandoned. Wow. He promotes video games. That's his job. It's Jeff Keighley. He promotes everyone's video games. This isn't special because he's best friends with Hideo Kojima. Like, there was also an alien in the corner and people were reading into that logo for some reason, because why not?
It's all fun. It's all fun in games with the Alienware logo and the Kojima talking about aliens and aliens apparently being in the next Bloober Team game. Anyways, so June 17th, 2021, Jeff Keighley responds to the Reset Era thread and says, quote, "Just to set expectations, I honestly don't think this is what you guys think it is."
Jeff Keighley, you are not going to set or reset or recalibrate anyone's expectations at this point. Good luck, buddy. You're just making people think that this means more by even saying anything about it.
Exactly. Hasan and Blue Box have already come out with a tweet at this point saying, guys, this isn't what you think it is. Stop. And people keep going. They keep going. So anyway.
But the lady doth protest too much. It must be true. Okay. Also, same day, Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, so he's one of those checkmark Twitter accounts that is somewhat reliable. He claimed to be fully on board with the conspiracy, only to kind of recant that later once a couple people were like, dude, are you serious? Or have you seen this other thing? Like, blah, blah, blah. So I think he backpedaled on that later.
Mm-hmm. Like almost immediately.
Again,
within hours, he was like, I'm at like 50%. So, and also Greg Miller, I didn't put it in here, but Greg Miller tweeted that he was fully on board at one point, like a day or two later. Yeah. So, yeah, big names getting into this and kind of making it a little bit more reasonable to believe,
feasible seeming,
more popular to be on team. Did we talk about that? Hashtag Team Real and hashtag Team Fake.
No, in the Reset Era or Reset Era, I don't know how to pronounce it. In the Reset Era thread about all this stuff, there was a poll at the top that asked if you were on Team Real or Team Fake, and then there was like a I haven't decided option or something like that. And the biggest one is Team Fake, but not by as much as you want it to be. There's a good amount of people on Team Real and Team I don't really know what to think about this.
Yeah,
Yikes.
and early on, that ratio was actually like, I think it was like 55% Team Real. And so a bunch of Team Fake people were like, what the fuck is going on? And then Team Real was like, no, we got to get more. This is slanderous. Everyone's got to get on Team Real. It was a whole hype train thing. It was just goofy. So, June 18th, 2021, so the day after the Jason Schreier weighed in, Jeff Keighley says on the Reset Era thread that Hasan told him he'd send over some pictures to post of Abandoned, but they never came. So, there's that.
But who was phone? Oh, they never came.
Where did they go? They're here somewhere.
I think that's funny because there's like a couple options here. Either, Hasan said, okay, I'll send you the pictures over, and it got caught by a spam filter or some shit, I don't know. Or Hasan just, didn't do it, and, is not very good at, marketing, or just, forgot about it, or his own game is shitty and crashed and looks bad because it's going to be a fucking Unity asset flip game, probably. Or he knows that sending pictures and reconfirming that this is fake is bad for business, maybe, potentially. Again, I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm saying like that's a potential motivational angle on that. Another option is he wanted to spend a couple more days to cook them books or something, and by books I mean images of the game, to perhaps put other little hints that will drive people insane into the screenshots or something. If he really was a bastard and was really fully in on this, I don't think that's the case though. But that's at least 4 potential reasons why that didn't happen.
Yep.
And the 5th is, of course, he's Hideo Kojima, and he's a busy man, and he doesn't have time to send Jeff Keighley some screenshots of his game.
He's got other ruses to perform.
Oh man! So the next thing, which also made me pissed off, on the 19th, the Konami shop Twitter was posted. They posted about new merch coming to the store with teaser images. The teaser image was so delectably just slightly off that everyone had to super duper read into that instead of using Occam's razor and deciding like someone made a graphic design goof. But they combined all of the logos of the 4 original Silent Hill games into one logo for Silent Hill, and then there was a little bit of space at the end as if there was going to be a number there, as if they were going to announce a new video game in the franchise via the merch store, which is the stupidest thing I've heard in a while.
That says a lot, because you've heard a lot of stupid shit recently.
I really have, man. I've heard a lot of stupid shit. But like that made me like so flummoxed. It's like, why in the world would a merch shop be the one announcing a potential new video, with the fervor around this video game not being real or real, and you're going to do that? Like that would be a little bit of a crazy Konami move, honestly. But I think that's even a little too crazy for Konami to do.
Right, especially when it's so easily explained. Like, okay, so I work in advertising. I regularly deal with like graphic designers, and some of them are more experienced than others. And this is something that I've seen before. This particular mistake is something that I've seen graphic designers do. Fresh people. So what happens is they will use like a transparency or an overlay in like Photoshop. And so what they'll do is they'll overlay all the Silent Hill logos, and then they will cut them out bit by bit. But in order to line them all up, all of the letters need to align, and Silent Hill, the original, Silent Hill 1, doesn't have a number at the end. So they'll just line them all up, and then there will be a space at the end for the numbers. So what they did was they lined it all up, they centered it in this image, and then they just wanted Silent Hill, so they just deleted the numbers off of it and just left it. That explains it. That's the explanation right there. It's not going to be an S. It's not going to be a 5, which is funny because all the people saying that it was Silent Hill 5, that's Homecoming. Come on. Silent Hill 5 is Homecoming. We've already gotten a Silent Hill 5, y'all. Like, get with it.
There's like 9 of them. Get with it. There's 8 or 9 of these fuckers, right?
So
oh my
many.
god, it's gonna be Silent Hill 10 or something. Like, clearly the Eastern
Silent
developed
Hill
ones
X.
are the only real ones.
It's true.
They're the only real ones.
And look, I guess, maybe I'm being a little harsh because it is extremely easy to forget Silent Hill Homecoming. So,
yeah, that's true. Also, sorry to make fun of people that are very into that the Eastern developed games are the only real ones, the only canon ones. I used to be like you, and then I gave up. And I highly recommend doing so. I care the correct amount now.
we've all gotten an appropriate amount of jade on us. So
yeah, a healthy amount of jade. But yeah, all that new merch and shit like that turned out to be lame. Turned out to be, some totally rad skateboards. Which somebody on Twitter pointed out that the demographic of people that would be riding skateboards today is about as old as the game itself that the skateboard is based off of, Silent Hill 2. And all the people that played Silent Hill 2 when it came out, our knees are getting bad. We can't do no kick flips. These are not for us. They're just decorations for our nerd dens.
Nerd dens. It's like that great wise adage once said, so here I am getting older all the time, trying everything I can.
Looking older all the time.
All right, I need to go and look. I won't do that.
No, that's the next lyric.
Yes. Anyway.
So here I am, looking older all the time, feeling older all the time, feeling younger in my mind. So I'm going to buy a skateboard and put it on the wall and never touch it with my feet.
I just want a game where Pyramid Head does a kickflip. Anyways.
Why not? Fuck it at this point. I also wanted to mention that another cool merch was some Seal of Metatron or Halo of the Sun throw pillows to tie your living room together like a normal person, which is something you can just buy on Etsy and have been able to buy on Etsy for God knows how many years. You can just buy an ugly ass throw pillow if you really want to. I can't believe throw pillow was part of the merch.
I just want a throw pillow.
The demand for that must be through the roof. And some other stuff which we will come back to in a couple minutes.
That we will.
Stay tuned.
But I want to throw a pillow with a bunch of barbed wire around it, and really tie the room together. So June 20th, 2021.
Get comfy.
Yeah, exactly. Just take a little rest on some barbed wire. So June 20th, 2021, Blue Box's Twitter says that the PS5 app, by the way, that Silent Hill movie completely ruined how I view barbed wire. Anyway, Blue Box's Twitter says that the PS5 app containing a new trailer for Abandoned, this is weird, that was supposed to go live on Tuesday the 22nd has been delayed until Friday the 25th. So this has been kind of a weird thing. This entire time, Hasan has been kind of teasing that the game would be released, or the trailer would be released on Tuesday. So, on June 20th, within hours of this announcement, people on the Reset Era thread were like, how much you want to bet that this shit's going to get delayed? And bam, immediately gets delayed. But what the fuck is this?
What is
this trailer thing? It's like an app. It's a PS5 app. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people were really curious about this whole mess, is because no one has ever heard of this, of a PS5 app specifically dedicated to showing off trailers that are supposedly running or streaming live off of someone's PS5 to you.
I have no idea what that is or means, and because nobody else knows what that is or means, they're like, this is clearly some sort of Hideo Kojima joint, because it makes no sense, and I'm confused. Therefore, it must be Hideo Kojima related.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So, I can't even think of a reason to want to do that. Why don't you just release a high quality trailer? Now, look, okay, so one of the things that was one of the pieces of speculation that this whole thing was a Hideo Kojima joint was that people were saying that PT was purposefully dumbed down so that it looked bad, and that so it wouldn't look like a AAA studio was behind it, and especially Hideo Kojima. But the interesting thing here is that PT never really went below 30 frames per second. It never had really terrible performance problems.
I have never heard anyone say PT doesn't look fucking drop dead gorgeous.
Exactly. It's photorealistic at times.
It is the most gorgeous, like, accurate everything, textures, lighting, frame rate. You saying that it was dumbed down to look ugly in any way is news to me that this game is ugly at all. Like,
I think it was specifically Kojima talking about the frame rate. But yeah, apparently he could have gotten the game to run at a higher frame rate, but they chose not to because it would have looked too professional. So the thing about that, though, is that Abandoned is just, it looks like garbage. No matter how
it's bad. It looks bad.
It just looks real bad. Sorry, Hassan. I know you're doing your thing, and more power to you. But like, dude, I can't get excited about that. The VO in that trailer is awful. Several words are kind of splurged out in a really weird way.
Splurged.
And then like the graphics are not good and the frame rate is just terrible. So that's one of the things that people were saying, was that the frame rate of the trailer was lowered in post so that it looked really bad. But here's my thing. Why would you purposefully make a game look that bad? Like that frame rate?
Yeah, it's too bad.
Like I can understand going 24 frames per second. I can't understand going like
that's
18.
cinematic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 18, 15 frames per second looks like garbage.
Like if you're doing animation, that's fine, but like, no, it just looks bad.
Nah. I don't get it. And it's just like anything that takes place in the woods must be PT, and anything that mentions a cult must be Silent Hill, because those things are just, those concepts are trademarked and copyrighted. Obviously, no one can ever use a cult in a video game ever again. It's just like, I don't understand why we have to like so solidly assign these tropes to this series in particular.
Yeah.
But okay.
But anyway, so yeah, it got delayed. And then...
So yeah, in 2 days from now, we're going to re-record this, obviously, and add whatever, if it comes out on the 25th.
And apologize profusely.
Have an addendum, and then be like, well, shit. It was a trailer of him taking off his rubber mask and being Hideo Kojima. We should have known better. This is all coming back to like that Hideo Kojima has done a couple of quirky, things to advertise his games that were a little bit secretive, but they aren't on the level of this kind of conspiratorial ARG type stuff. And also like his like sneaky stuff that he's done has never been so obvious as, my name is HK. I'm going to pretend to be someone else with their name HK. I'm gonna put PT behind a tree. That's like dumb shit. Like that's dumb.
Yeah,
Can we agree
level.
that that's too obvious and dumb?
Yes.
Very surface level, very baby's first escape room sort of stuff. Like I don't even know. It reminds me of like all the Illuminati conspiracy theories, and it's like, okay, if the Illuminati wanted to be a secret, why are they dropping triangles everywhere? Why are they constantly hinting that they're real? Like, that doesn't make sense. If you want to stay a secret, why would you drop all these stupid hints all the time? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, more stuff happened. On June 21st, that is 2 days ago, as of this recording, Hasan posted a video message on the Blue Box Twitter of himself saying he's not associated with Hideo Kojima and is not working on Silent Hill. And fact check me on this, turns out he's a little bit handsome. Handsome guy.
Can
Hasan,
confirm
what
he
up?
handsome. But yeah, so something I neglected to put on this timeline, which by the way, right after that, the Reset Era and the Blue Box conspiracy subreddit were both closed. So basically, as soon as this post comes out, everyone starts apologizing. YouTubers who were making this a big deal and like dropping hints that they knew the real scoop suddenly didn't know anything and were apologizing to Hasan like, dude, I'm so sorry. You've been harassed and all this stuff. But also around here is when Blue Box deleted, or actually I think it was a few days before, they deleted that tweet with the this game starts with an S, ends with an L. So that's gone.
I don't blame them for deleting that.
I don't either. They should have done that earlier, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
I mean, depending on what you want to get out of it, because if you want to ride it, then you keep it. And, they did make out with quite a fair amount of news coverage for themselves.
They got a lot of followers out of this
they did.
conspiracy.
And you got a lot of people who are like, I've seen a lot of comments on Hassan's Twitter, on the Blue Box Twitter, basically saying like, look, I don't care if you're Kojima. I don't care if you're, just regular old Hassan. That sounds mean. I don't care who you are. I will stick around and watch what you're coming out with. So it's like, if the idea was to just bullshit your way into a conspiracy theory that people are already trying to fish up, then you just do that, and then you get everyone's attention, and then people will immediately be like, oh, yeah.
If it's intentional, it is clever. And it's really just a matter of time before somebody does intentionally do this exact thing. Like, exactly. I'm not sure if this is intentional or accidental, but it is going to happen.
There was a point.
And somebody's going to be sneaky enough to make you believe this all over again on purpose.
There was a point where I was seriously anticipating that this was going to be Bloober Team kind of coming in and just kind of inserting themselves, whatever they're doing, into this whole thing, because Bloober Team's, if anything, Bloober Team's very derivative. So of course they would, their first horror game was Layers of Fear, which is largely
it's
a PT
true.
clone. So of course they would just try to mimic all of this stuff. I've even found some of their during an investor chat, I found some of the stuff that Peter Bobbiano was saying, who is the CEO of Bloober Team, and he was saying the stuff about the medium, and he was saying basically we were trying to seed this for 5 years, since 2015. So they were already thinking about ways of advertising these things or blowing these projects out. They're already thinking long term. So anyway, but yeah, no, you're totally right. At this point, I'm anticipating something like this happening again, but it being either, I'm anticipating it happening again because we simply cannot stop doing this as Silent Hill fans.
Yeah.
But if you're making a new Silent Hill game and you don't do what kind of PT did, I mean, I don't know. Voidburger, would you think that is a missed opportunity, or is that just too on the nose?
Oh, man, I really don't know. And I also don't feel like whatever Silent Hill game ever comes out, if there is a Silent Hill game ever again, whatever it is, it's going to disappoint everybody, because the hype that we are willing to manifest is completely unattainable in reality. Nothing can possibly measure up to the mystery, the intrigue, the hype that we are capable of, apparating out of nowhere. So even if there was a real game, there's no fucking way it's going to measure up to everyone's expectations, because everyone likes different things about the Silent Hill games anyway.
Yep.
I love the cult. I hate the cult. All this stuff. You talk to 4 different Silent Hill fans, and they'll each have a different favorite Silent Hill game for different reasons. And, there's very few things that can be done, to make something that is good enough, bold enough, interesting enough, new enough, that isn't also, this is too different. This isn't even Silent Hill, I feel like we're just in a big... We trapped ourselves, folks.
We're stuck.
That's all I got to say. We're stuck.
It's
I
fascinating.
think it'll happen,
because we've been kind of stuck since Silent Hill 2. If you think about it,
in different ways, yeah.
Yeah, because the series has been desperately chasing the greatness of Silent Hill 2 for the longest time, and with some games straight up copying all of the plot points verbatim. So now we have Silent Hills, and it's just I don't even know where we go from there. No matter what, I feel bad for whoever is working on the Silent Hill games right now.
I don't envy the task at hand. If anybody's working on this IP, it is a insurmountable, difficult task.
Yeah, it's rough.
Oh
dude.
my god.
But anyway, I think we have one more timeline.
One more thing.
Okay.
One more timeline, the last thing, and it happened today. So, speaking about that merch drop from earlier, here's something fun. one of the merches that got dropped was a shirt with an asymmetrical design on it, and the design is similar to the Halo of the Sun, similar to the Seal of Metatron from the original first 4 games, technically 2 games, 3 maybe actually. But pedantic shit aside, what is that symbol? Is this a new symbol? Are they hinting at a new game with this new occult seal? What is going on? No, it's better than nothing, actually. First of all, no, it's nothing. Second of all, it's better than nothing because this symbol is seemingly, it appears, stolen fan art from someone named Nihilust. They have a DeviantArt, they have a Pinterest. It shows up in places and it's only associated with this random fan from 10 or so years ago. And the, merch department, the t-shirt folks at Konami found it on Google, thought it was real, thought it was theirs, put it on t-shirt. It is fan art so far as we can tell. Can't tell if this person was contacted or anything like that because this is fresh news to us today. So
yeah, I've reached out to Nihilust about like whether at least, well, I think I've reached out to Nihilust on Twitter just because I did a little bit of sleuthing and found a few things that have drawn me to that specific Twitter account. But everything that I'm seeing online is pointing to Nihilust being the person that created that specific version of the seal.
Sigil, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's interesting because I found their SoundCloud and they haven't posted anything in 6 years. Nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, what happened? Like, there could be a deal. Like, we could be wrong on this. But why do I doubt that?
Why do I doubt that? Is it because Konami is inept? Maybe. Maybe that's why.
Possibly. Yeah. Speaking of pattern recognition, like what's the bigger leap? That's that someone came to this person, to Nihilust, and from Konami and said, "Hey, can I use your art? Can you get me a vector version of it so I can use it?" To a person who hasn't been online, as far as I can tell, for at least 2 to 3 years. Or that someone at Konami went online, did a Google image search, found this seal.
Found the coolest sigil that combines both of the cool sigils.
Did a vector version of it and put it on a shirt. Like, personally?
It's a free vector already, I think. Like, it's not free. I mean, like, the guy who made it was already a vector of it. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't.
But I don't know.
I might be wrong on that, but yeah, you might be right. All I saw were PNGs, but yeah, there might be an SVG of it.
Yeah, I think somebody found a vector of it somewhere on DeviantArt, maybe. But either way, it's that person's work. Like,
yeah,
1-to-1. That's there's no way that this is not by this person. It's definitely not by Konami. We're huge dorks for Silent Hill, and it's like that's not a Konami-made sigil. I've never seen it in a game. It's not real. We have we've accessed tons of garbage knowledge over the years, and I've never seen that sigil before. So it is not made by Konami unless they somehow hired this guy and he used his old work or something, or I don't know.
We don't know.
Just like there's coincidences, and then it's like, no, this was stolen. This is the same image.
Yeah, and
they didn't even horizontally flip it.
No, they didn't. And for me, at this point, I'm erring on the side of the artist because you're in that space, VB. I've done this kind of thing before, and it's happened to me where people just rip your shit. Mm-hmm. They just take it. They just and they run off of it. So I will always defend the artist first in these scenarios because
I think it is easy to assume that a corporation did a bad thing.
Yes, exactly.
In general.
But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Maybe we could talk about the Pyramid Pencil saga that everyone seems to so quickly forget.
I'd love to, but can we take a short bio break?
Absolutely.
I ordered some foam wig heads for my 2 wigs that I have.
Oh, yeah.
And they come with a user manual, which I think is really funny. It's just styrofoam in the shape of a human head. Why do I need a manual?
Yeah, that's...
Put wig on head.
It's kind of weird. I don't know. What does the manual say? Is it like step by step? Like,
let's find out.
Oh, hell yeah.
User manual. Blah, blah, blah. Function, display, wig repair, care, home use, wig shop, hat shop, optical shop. I don't think there's actually a manual. I think they just use the word manual. That's it.
Ba-da-ba. Slam.
Okay. Slam them heads.
Slam into the back of my Dragula.
You're not a Silent Hill fan if you don't have at least one mannequin head in your house. Bob, where's your mannequin head? I thought you were cool.
I'm wearing a lasagna cat shirt. Don't yell at me. At this point, I'm trying to figure out if I'm a bigger Garfield fan than a Silent Hill fan. But anyway. Oh, Garfield and Silent Hill.
Crossover when?
Exactly. Garfield Hill.
Crossover when?
But yeah.
That would be great if instead of Silent Hills, they made a crossover with Garfield. Just throw everybody off the trail.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim Davis has been dropping hints for years about this collaboration. Nobody has noticed it.
Yeah, it's, you know, do they look like monsters to you? It's like you've got the same thing in the Garfield mythos with, did John drink semen, dog semen or not? Like,
we don't know. It's a mystery.
It's whatever you think it is. What's in that cup? Your worst nightmare.
Guilt.
Anyway.
Guilt.
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 But yeah, so the Pyramid Pencil Saga. I don't know if you wanted to take this one or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay, so the Pyramid Pencil Saga was the incredible, wonderful time in Silent Hill history in February 28th of 2020, so a year ago, when Kojima Productions posted a picture on their Twitter. And it's the text was, "Sorry to be silent, everyone. I've been really busy lately. I think I can say more soon about what we are going to ... I think there are 5 dots. Hashtag Kojima Productions." And it's a picture of a Kojima Productions employee on the
looks
phone.
A lot like Swery. I wish it was Swery. I'd love a Swery Silent Hill game. Just like a slightly younger Swery.
The only person who'd be able to match the expectations that we all have for Silent Hill game.
Just blow them all out of the water.
So this person is writing on a notepad, a yellow notepad with a pencil, and the notepad says "next week!" ! And that pencil that he's holding onto, that says Pyramid.
Fuck!
Just like that one dude from that one game that we love. Oh, that must mean Silent Hills is confirmed. Kojima, you rascal. You did it.
You got that pencil perfectly printed to say that thing just to tease us.
I can't I cannot overstate how absolutely batshit Silent Hill fans went over this. Like, it is...
They really went crazy for it, yeah.
It is exactly the same situation that happened with Blue Box.
Our desperation is palpable. Like, like to do this shit to ourselves, like how desperate can a fandom be? How thirsty can a fandom be for content that we're looking at a pencil and being like, holy fucking shit. There it is. I'm excited over a pencil.
Proof.
And they've done this before. Like the fandom has done this before with other, Japanese products. Like I think Pyramid is a brand of pencil in Japan that we don't have, I guess. But the health drinks that are in Silent Hill 1, Kojima had one of them in a photo. It's because he's tired. He's drinking a health drink. They have those in Japan. It's part of the work culture to have these little vitamin shots and caffeine and guarana shots so you can keep being a productive little salaryman. It's very, very not a thing to overanalyze. Because those were in a Silent Hill because Silent Hill is a Japanese developed game and they have health drinks in Japan.
Yeah,
they probably don't even know we don't have those here.
Right, yeah.
You know, like it's so ingrained
like
in
what
their
would
society.
our equivalent of that be? Would that just be like 5-hour energy or something?
I guess I think that the health drinks have a lot more like nutritional value
stuff.
than 5-hour energy does. I think there's vitamins and shit in it.
Gotcha.
I don't think they're good for you, but I mean, there's vitamins and shit. I'm not really sure, and they're very medicinal. So far as I know, I haven't had any myself because they look like they taste bad.
Yeah, they look like they taste like chalk. Just throwing that out there. Anyway.
Chalk, okay.
But yeah, it's always funny when this stuff happens. It's funny and it's sad and it's a whole mixture of emotions. But for this one, it was just I was dying when they released it because they were like promoting something. It's just that everyone always immediately assumes that it's Silent Hill. That it's Silent Hills, that they're coming back because that's what everyone wants. It's wish fulfillment. It's what is the best case scenario? What do I want out of this? And I want, mom and dad to get back together so we can have a Christmas again. And
yeah.
But at the same time, like, guys, they're divorced. Like, we have to move on.
No, it's not. It's not happening. Be realistic. I mean, I don't blame people for wanting this or for believing this stuff, because you can't put a leash on people's imagination and hopes. But I do wish that we as a fandom had like a little bit more skepticism. Like, I don't want to say cynicism. I want to say skepticism because we've been burned so many times over and over and over again for the past like 15 years or so. And it's just like, it after a while you get really dull to it. And seeing other people fall for this is exhausting. And I don't want this for you guys. I don't want the fandom to constantly be falling for this silly shit all the time. And it's not your fault for doing that. If you did believe this stuff, I understand why you want to. But, people are going to take advantage of you eventually. Somebody's going to purposefully do this to sell their game or get eyeballs on their game. And we're going to fall for it because we are that desperate. And I just want us to have a little bit more, I don't know, dignity.
Find that dignity a little bit. And, exactly what VB's saying, it's like that already happened with this Blue Box thing. Like, maybe not with Hasan specifically, or at least, that's kind of a gray area. But there were definitely people in this whole like situation that were out to grift you. There were people that were doing fake Tumblr accounts for Blue Box. There were people that were selling an early advanced version of Abandoned that they had found, and they were selling it for money. And like, we've got to be discerning, y'all. We got to be vigilant about this stuff. And yes, it's cool and fun, to think about like, oh, that would be cool if Konami and Kojima like got back together and they solved all of their differences and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you can't let that fantasy.
I got hired by them to work at Kojima Productions, and Kojima will share some ramen with me in Japan, and it'll be great. It's great to dream,
yeah.
You can hope and imagine all sorts of things, but don't fall for scams or anything like that.
Don't let your dreams muscle in on reality, I guess, is a really like down to earth way of viewing this. Like, that sounds mean or rough, but in this specific instance, like, we got to be like more realistic about this stuff. And honestly, not every time we talk about Silent Hill does it have to be associated with Kojima either. Like, he's doing other stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So that's my takeaway.
I mean, we just have this cool thing dangled in front of us and taken away from us, and we still want the thing. It's like, it's not. I don't think it's coming back, y'all.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's just a
new
thing.
CEO of Konami happens.
Yeah.
That is the only situation where I see Konami doing cool things instead of dipshit things that make us all mad. in general.
And last I checked, Kagemasa Kazuki's son is the president of Konami. So, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. So,
Family business.
family biz.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so
yeah, that's this episode of Bob Vids and Voidburger debunk the latest Silent Hill conspiracy from The Great Debate, which is now more a channel about shooting down conspiracy theories and begging people to stop falling for them as often and as strongly as we still do. But it is very entertaining though. Like,
oh yeah,
this shit is fascinating to me, of course.
Yeah, when it doesn't go into the realm of, oh, everyone's like throwing death threats at people. Oh, people are like really upset that this thing didn't turn out to be the thing. And the thing that I really don't want people to take away from this is that Hassan was like, specifically out to get people, and that because of that, he deserves hate. Like, just don't do that. Do not do that.
I think it's pretty unlikely that he did this on purpose.
Yeah. I mean,
I think one day somebody will do this on purpose.
Yep.
And then everybody will be very mad at that person.
And rightfully
but still,
so.
don't harass people.
Yep. But yeah, all right. Well, with that, catch you guys later.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
And let us know if you like this kind of format. We always appreciate feedback. Everyone's like, oh, people say, oh, I read the comments, but they just say that just because they want the interaction so that they get higher up on SERPs. We legitimately read the comments. We legitimately care about your feedback, and we listen to it, and we make informed decisions based on it. So yeah, no, like.
And don't complain that there's a girl in the video, for fuck's sake.
And yes, it is Norman Reedus. You are correct.
After all these years, I think we can finally lay that conspiracy to rest. Yes, it is Norman Reedus.
Do you think...
It doesn't just look like him, it is him.
Do you think people will see that now and they'll say, that looks like Sam from Death Stranding?
Yeah, they might, though.
Yeah, they might. Anyway.
One day they're going to watch The Walking Dead and be like, that's the guy from Death Stranding. Oh my God.
Oh, that's where he's from. Oh, that's how his career started.
Oh, watch Blade 2. He's in that.
Oh, and what was the other one he did? When he was a brother. Oh, damn it. Let me read it. Hold on.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm going to look this up while you guys leave. Boondock Saints. That's okay.